Hello, everyone. This is an interesting and important case coming out of a divorce, which we don't really do divorces in the law firm, but it does deal with real estate as the central issue on appeal, and so it's very relevant. It's also important in this video to learn what really happens in a lawsuit because thankfully most people have not been in a lawsuit, but when you do get involved, you need to understand what the process is and what happens. And there's something called discovery that we're going to go over here very importantly because that was a key issue in the case. So what happened was these two people were getting a divorce a number of years ago, and when you get divorced, you have to sign some forms that disclose your assets, and you answer something called interrogatories. Those are written questions interrogating you, right? Interrogatories that ask you to tell information about yourself, information about your assets and liabilities. Well, the husband in this case said that he was, quote unquote, still investigating some issues on his, but he never supplemented his answers. And so he failed to disclose an interest he had in some real estate that's significant, right? That was real value. So the wife came back a number of years later, realizing what had happened, and said, hey, you've got to give me part of this asset because it's part of the marital estate. He said, no, I just didn't know about it, or my answers were not improper. Well, I'll tell you what, the Court of Appeal said that he made a mockery of the discovery rules. And he had to then give part of the property, one half of it, to his ex-wife as part of the settlement. And the key thing that I want to tell you here is, number one, when you're in court, it's all about the evidence. I tell you that every time. But it's also about discovery. And people sometimes try to get by with not disclosing things fully or being a little bit evasive. And it's always a problem in court trying to figure out what the other side has because you're relying on them to be honest. And it's in a scenario where they don't want to be honest. They're trying to they're adversarial to your position. So the bottom line is justice is slow, but when it hits you, it hits like a ton of bricks, and eventually the truth is going to come out, and you're going to have to pay up in this scenario. You have to divide your real estate. You can't get by with saying, I'm still investigating, I'm looking into it, right? These kind of hollow answers are not acceptable in litigation, and they're not acceptable to the Court of Appeals, so don't do it. So be aware, in all lawsuits, you have a discovery process where you trade information back and forth with everybody, and you have to be open, you have to be honest, you have to be truthful, you have to give all the information. And if you don't, you're going to be sanctioned by the court eventually. So just do it right the first time. It saves everybody time, money, headache, and it's morally and ethically the right thing to do. So that's your tip for the day. Always just do what's right, tell the truth, very simple. Talk to you soon. If you have a question about this kind of a thing, let us know. We're happy to answer it at any time.